everyone. It is your certified life and relationship coach, Kendra, specialty in health science. Welcome back for another video. I am here today to discuss handling breakups and divorce, guys. As you see on the thumbnail, and this, I know it's going to be a crazy topic. I hope you guys just come along and enjoy the trip with me as we begin to chart these waters of breakups and divorce. And guys, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Like, comment, share, do anything you can to be a part of the conversation. I know a lot of things I discuss on my channel are mainly just kind of surface, and I just want to be able to get your brains to thinking and start the conversation. But some of these things are just so heavy, and it's kind of impossible to sometimes touch and elaborate on some of these heavy topics like today. So always you can utilize this channel as a tool, but most of all, to get the most out of the information that I do have to offer is to book a session with me. You can do that by going to my website, www.candracurry.com, or you can email me at book@candracurry.com. So you can elaborate and go more into this topic. But yes, guys, come along with me as we try to go ahead and indulge. And as always, I have my notes, so if I look down, I do apologize. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you're able to take something from it, guys, and be empowered and uplift someone if it's not you. All right, so yeah, where do we start? Just navigating a breakup or divorce can be so difficult. Part of what I do, I run into a lot of different people who are in a breakup, considering a breakup, thinking about breaking up. Like, I don't know, I just have this interaction sometimes, and it's just like, man, I must have the sign just on my forehead, you know. So I am the person to talk to when it comes to getting through these things, because myself, of course, you all know from my channel, I can say firsthand I've experienced it and been able to successfully overcome. And now the knowledge that I have gained from education and from experience, I can give that back to you guys. So hopefully you're able to take something away from today's video, guys. Okay, so let's get started. So just navigating a breakup and divorce, you know, is difficult. And the causes of these events can be uncontrollable, you know, things such as a sickness or, you know, even death sometimes cause people to break up or divorce, and that's just life, you know. We have to find a way to navigate through it as healthy as possible. So please use your best judgment. If you need medical attention, always seek help. I'll leave a few resources in my description box, as always. So let's keep it going. I just want to make sure that I address all of the emotions around this topic, because I understand it's not just, you know, black and white. Sometimes there's a lot of nuances and there's a lot of twist to it. So for different reasons, I don't want to feel like I'm excluding or leaving anyone out, and your approach may have to be different. It's a lot of grief around this topic. So definitely, if you're needing to seek medical help, seek that attention. And I do not take that lightly, guys, as you know, if you follow me. Especially with having a background in health science and working in the healthcare industry now for over 12 years of my life, I know how important and how impactful it is for you to seek medical attention. So definitely, I never will undermine that. But one of the things that I would say approaching a breakup or a divorce, you want to make sure that you're vigilant about your healing. And when I say vigilant, it's just like it sounds. I mean, almost like a spy, like you're watching over and you're kind of in a tactile, you know, way approaching your healing. You're getting your life back on track, and you're trying not to stay stagnant. You know, when you think of a vigilante, you think of someone who's, you know, just kind of out there, just kind of always on the go and always moving. And that's how you have to be in a breakup and in a divorce. And at times, I know it's so many different things surrounding it. You have to try to, like, you know, be multifunctional and, you know, just always doing other things, and you don't really have that time to really heal. But I'm saying be vigilant about your healing as much as you can be, because any new information, any new knowledge that you can take in about your feelings and your emotions, be vigilant about it, because you want to try to be able to know how to get through it. And I know it's not like something we learned in school before, and this isn't something that is like enjoyable, and it's not a exciting topic, you know, to approach your healing in a way that is like is exciting almost. You know, I, for one, if I'm going through a breakup or anything, I first know, because I've been through so many, I completely click into a mode that is just survival. You have to survive this, because you can't let it overcome you. You have to be vigilant about it. So I just am advising to be vigilant about your healing as step one, because your healing itself, not just going and trying to make sure all the, you know, daily routine things are taken care of. You want to be vigilant and set that time to be vigilant about your healing, okay? New knowledge, podcasts, YouTube videos, books, anything that you can to take in new information that about that emotion, whatever it is, grief, depression, anxiety, whatever the emotion is and whatever the pain is, and just really sitting and listening what your feelings are, whatever you need. You have to be vigilant about that in your healing process, and that's one way you're going to help get that wound under control. It's just like it's just, you can't see it, but it's there. So approach it like you would as if, you know, you got a fresh wound on your exterior body. Your internal body, we know, needs healing, and I just hope that I'm making this make sense to how I want this to get through your brain and get through your mind. And I know some things I might say sound like jokingly, and I try to make light sometimes of things, but I really want to express and convey what I really mean. And I know I have to kind of, you know, make sure that I'm not taking it lightly, but at times I do smile to try to make you guys feel good about what we're talking about. But in the end, I really hope that you're taking what I'm saying as a tool to be able to use it, okay? All right. So, you know, try not to check out of responsibility for a long period of time. I understand like your healing is important, and sometimes we can like use it as an excuse kind of to get away from people or get away from the things that we need to do. But or, you know, just your regular responsibilities. I said, like, you know, I know we have to tend to those things while we're going through a breakup or while we're going through a divorce, but I really truly believe that you have to still check on those things as much as it's almost like a double-edged sword. It's like you can almost put yourself too much into your routine, or you can take yourself too much out of your routine. So it's just kind of like making sure you're staying aware that you are being vigilant towards your healing, but you're not, you know, checking out too long to be able to still take care of those necessary things. Okay, I believe I'm making sense. Okay. All right. So, you know, as far as practice being present, I want to just kind of expand on that for a little bit. Practicing being present is in your now. You know, the breakup has happened or the divorce has happened, and, you know, it's going to benefit you to be present. I know, like, just checking out, sometimes you just want to not handle any responsibilities, or again, just you might be underly handling responsibilities or overly handling other responsibilities, but just making sure like your healing time is sought after. that's what was on my heart about this. And yes, so it's case by case. I would say, just like I mentioned, an open wound on your body, I would look at it as far as like age, the person who's encountering the event, who's you know, kind of going through this, and work from there. I would. Alright guys, my video had actually died, so I'm back and I'm gonna just pick back up. As I was saying, regarding a breakup and divorce and just a time frame in healing, I believe it is by case by case. Everybody heals different, so there's no textbook answer from, you know, for healing. But I would base it off of just, you know, the age of the person, just like you would an external wound. Like, I believe the older you get, the harder it gets to recover from certain things. But I do think it's still, of course, it happens all the time, people divorce and break up, but it is very possible that the older you get, I just believe some wounds are just, you know, going to be a little harder to repair, especially depending on also the duration of the relationship or friendship or what have you. But we're going to go to number 2. So all of that was 1 is just about being vigilant in the healing time. So going on to step 2, just kind of another tip here to empower you guys. I believe there should be time between a breakup or divorce to kind of purge your emotions. I believe in this place between the kind of like, not bondage, but there, you know, there is a promised place that we're trying to get to, which is healing. And then there's the place that we came from, which is that previous relationship or that previous friendship or whatever have you. And then there's this in-between place, and it's kind of, so to speak, like a wilderness time. And in your emotions, that time should be spent to kind of purge yourself. And just kind of in that time, you don't know when your healing is, which is your promise, which is what it is that you're trying to obtain. You don't know what that time frame will be. So definitely just be patient with yourself in your wilderness or in your in-between phase, and just allowing yourself to just purge those negative emotions surrounding that situation. This time you may do a lot of deliberating, a lot of logic, and a lot of things might not make sense. You know, you might be replaying things, and I try to not spend a lot of time here on like ruminating. You may cry a lot here and just memorize a lot of things and try and play over in your head what happened or what went wrong. But just think that you can only stay in that place for so long before you need to get to your healing. And you know, sometimes we can't undo the past, so all we have to do is just enjoy our present. And you know, and really, you don't want that situation to rob you of your now. You want to be able to enjoy your one life that you've been given, and not ruminate over what happened or what could have happened, what you could have said, what could have done, what should have been. All of that is great, but you want to push yourself to be able to keep moving, and it's hard to hit a moving target, okay? So stay in motion, but definitely in the wilderness time, purging those emotions, just kind of not trying to ruminate, you know, too much on what has happened, and, you know, let it go. And this phase, purging, is not pretty. Now, again, seek medical attention, but definitely do what you need to do. Get it out. You have to get it out, okay? Because those feelings should not be ignored, because you don't want to stuff those feelings and then they come out bleeding out into your next relationship or next situationship. For some people, I hate to say it like that, but you never know what you might end up in, and at times hopefully you can plan. That's another point we'll get to. But definitely don't take it for granted. You are healed because you can't see the brokenness. It's often in our souls sometimes, especially for the impact of the type of breakup. It can be as deep as some things we cannot see or touch with a finger. You know, someone might ask you what's wrong, and you want to be able to point or touch it, and you can't. And that's okay, but don't take it for granted because you can't see it, that it's okay, or that it's not healed, or that, oh, it's, you know, been 2 months and I feel fine. wait until really, like those feelings have blown over, before you trying to, kind of get back out there. And, we're going to get to that. But always ask a trusted friend, professional, or counselor or coach if you're unsure, if you're not moving forward kind of in the proper time frame. So again, if it's been about past the time of the relationship, over 6 months to a year, and you haven't been together only a couple of weeks, you dated, or you dated for a month and you're still at month 3 or 6, and you're like, I can't get over this, you might want to seek some professional help and get a real treatment plan. Okay, you might not be able to do any self-help because it's a little bit deeper than you might know. But you may want to kind of investigate what other feelings are there that's causing you to not be able to move forward, because our bodies and our minds are made to heal, and that's just the truth. So again, before you're trying to move forward and start to begin to maybe casually date, and I'm hoping that you would think that through properly, of course, and make sure that you're not jumping into something new to try to avoid this in-between phase of your healing. Never band-aid an old relationship with a new relationship. Of course, I would hope we all know that. But definitely making aware and not making it taking it lightly, that you shouldn't jump into an ego-boosting relationship. Or if you were previously a serial dater and you've never had this time to yourself, and in between a healing and a previous relationship, if you've never had this in between time, this may be a reason that the breakups are happening, because it can be an eye-opener if you're going from one situation to one situation to one situation, like a serial dater, and you've not taken time to get to know you, which brings me to my third, dating yourself. And then this is going to take me to my third point, which is it's okay to be selfish during this purging wilderness time. Travel, spend time shopping, go to dinner, movies with friends and family, do whatever you want, but you must be responsible with your emotions and other people's emotions. So different people handle the situations, breakups and divorces differently, but take into account your needs and theirs, and really say, would I want to be dating me right now if I know what I know about me? If you don't feel like you're the kind of person that is, if you are the kind of person to try to stuff your feelings and hurry up and get over the healing because you don't feel like doing the work, then just say that, instead of bringing someone on board in your life and then you causing kind of more damage to their life. So I would not advise that anytime, under no day or circumstance, for anybody. Okay. So, my advice would be to not thinking anything long-term or serious in this phase of you healing and getting to your healing. In that middle phase, just 1 to 6 months to a year. If the relationship is less than a year, I would say any relationship less than 5 years, you need a good, I would say, year at least to yourself. If you've been with anybody 5 years and under, a good year to yourself would be good. Anything under 5 years, but anything more than 5 years that you were in a situation like marriage or a breakup, anything more than 5 years, it's gonna probably take a little longer than a year. And to be in anything serious within less than a year, I wouldn't advise it. So that's just my take. If it's been more than 5 years, definitely taking more than a year. But if it's been anything that you were dating or married or broken up anything under 5 years. A year to yourself is just, it's kind of okay, but I would just say give it a year. Okay. So you must allow time just to reset and regain control over emotions, or risk losing another relationship or slipping into unnecessary stress or unhealthy behavior. This brings me to my next point. I know we said be selfish and just do what makes you happy, but we also have to be careful of desperate emotions. Getting in a new relationship to feel love or affection is definitely not a smart idea. So you don't want it to backfire and shoot you in the foot, right? So you want to make sure you're thinking for the both of you in a healthy relationship. That would be what you would do if you're, trying to move forward. You would think of you and them. So you want to see your emotions kind of like they take a shape, they take form. And the emotions that you're having before you get into a new situation, whatever those emotions are that you're having by yourself, you're going to have those same emotions when you get into a new situation. So whatever those emotions are that are still taking shape from the last situation, you want to make sure that you're approaching those emotions like, these are the things that I'm taking with me to the next situation, and just kind of see them taking shape in that new situation and wondering how would that make the new situation look. You don't want it to mimic what you just came from. You want it to be better than that. So you want to make sure that you're not making that cycle of creating and perpetuating this cycle of the same emotions going from one place to another, because those things follow you, and that's just a human thing. How our emotions, they're going to go with us, and you can't say, oh, I'm not going to deal with them, I'm going to just push them in the back of my head, and that's just not how it works. They're going to come out. So just think of whatever that emotion is that you have where you're at right now, and if you take that emotion with you in the new situation, how would you like to see that emotion come to life? If it's not a good emotion, then you need to stay where you are by yourself. But if it is a good emotion taking shape where you are by yourself, then hey, that's your checkpoint. Go ahead and move forward and see what's out there if that's something that you're interested in. So I'm going on to my next point, and just, at this time, I would say to use it to also not self-sabotage, and don't talk down on anything or anyone, and especially not yourself. Just self-sabotaging behavior. I'll never get this, or I'm not this. All this kind of negative behavior. Just kind of watch the negative self-talk, because our words start to shape our reality. And just believe that you're healed, and affirm yourself, and always remind yourself that you're wonderful, and you're beautiful, and you're worth everything and more. And regardless, how the situation played out, even if someone's left, you want to start to not self-sabotage and soothe those negative emotions with positive affirmations and saying those things that really encourage you to feel better about the situation. Not anything that's going to bring you down, not anything that's going to make you feel like less than. So none of those self-sabotaging behaviors, guys, okay? All right. All right, now we're going to go on to our fifth point here. Just finding time in this time when you're healing and dealing with the breakup, and before you get into your, promised healing and everything. I believe that you should, take this time to pursue your dreams, open your mind to newfound freedom. This is a new situation, and it's uncharted territory, and it's a lot of, ideas, and it's hard. You're trying to heal, and you're thinking of what was, and you're thinking of what is, and you're thinking of what can be. But also think about what your dreams are, because in that you will start to heal. There is something about helping others and healing yourself. It just goes hand in hand. You give what you put in. And it's like it's sowing good seeds, guys, and it's a law, and I just believe you reap what you sow. And if you start to pursue your dreams, you'll start to just see a new side of yourself come to life and be birthed from that pain and that situation that you were in. And I always recommend just finding something new and, you know, open a business to empower someone. And that was something that I did. You know, I just started on my journey of healing, and next thing you know, voila, I have a business. And I never saw it coming. And again, this isn't about me, but I just like to always put that out there, that it's so possible to move forward and to move past hurt and pain. So what you desire will just begin to desire you. So just begin to look out for new things, guys. This is an exciting time. Yes, you do need the time to mourn and heal, but it's an exciting new adventure. And if you can go ahead and start shaping your mind to really believe in that, it will help you with where you're going. So you will stay in the forward motion, in that forward direction, and pushing through this situation, because you are going to make it, okay? So a new relationship, again, is never a band-aid for an old relationship that you've not healed from. You can get in it and still feel alone. If you know, even if it's marriage that you're saying, okay, I was just in a relationship and now it's marriage. It can happen. You can get married and be alone. Do not run from your healing to a relationship to avoid it, because people get married all the time and feel alone. And that's a whole nother video in itself. Being married and feeling alone is not something I would ever recommend for anybody. And it's not a place that you run to avoid getting to know the real you, okay? Marriage is something that should be sought out logically, sober-mindedly, okay? Not off emotions, okay? So make sure that you process your old and new possible emotions about what you're getting into. So don't mask the hurt. We're just kind of wrapping this up. Don't bleed out on social media. That's another point. I never did that, and I hope I never ever become victim to bleeding out on social media. So if you have to, take your phone, cut it off, and sit it down, hide it under the mattress. I heard of people doing that, but never feel obligated to share your personal details, even if it's people you love, even if it's people you want to be able to talk to you about it. Leave time for your healing and be selfish a little about your life, okay? Don't bleed out. And, you know, even if people pressure you, this is your personal life experience and it's sensitive. So always, always never feel obligated to share any details to anybody at any time, okay? Unless you feel like you're healed and you're ready to give that information to somebody and help them along the way, okay? So staying centered and staying balanced is the main goal of this video today. It's just kind of like learning how to balance it all. I always have this picture in my head like of a juggler, and he's balancing all of these things, you know, at once, and got a ball here, ball here, ball here. And on his foot, he's, you know, doing the whole thing. And at times life is like that, but we have to make sure that we're just maintaining our mental health, maintaining our spiritual health, maintaining our financial health, not becoming victim, because people can have a PhD degree and can still fall victim and be conned into doing things. Like a lady got conned in Toronto, $600,000, you know, in a story I heard. And, you know, it's just making yourself aware of your pain so that it doesn't become a victim. You don't become a victim to your pain, and do things reacting out of pain. So it's just like, you know, don't underestimate that you are healed. Really, you know, balance it now, you know, and think logic and go over these steps again if you must. But whatever you can do, do it, and just focus, guys, and be empowered. I enjoyed making this video. I hope you did too. And always, if you want to book a session with me, you can email me, www.candracurry.com. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until next time, guys, love you. Bye.